What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Breakdown with Biodun. My name is Biodun Friday, and this is my channel, The Daffy Show. I hope that your week has been good. So my week has been good. I'm waiting on my guests to show up. I've realized that sometimes, um, because content is the way it is these days, like it's constantly streaming, sometimes people forget. People forget the time. That's the reality of things. Oh well. So anyway, welcome to the Daffy Show today. I have three topics that we're going to be talking about. And normally we keep the show going for at least an hour and 15 minutes. But by special request, I've been asked to keep it down to an hour. And I think last week we were good with the time. Let's see how it goes this week. Sometimes it's hard to keep to that time because, especially when you have guests, because everyone's saying that, everyone's dropping their own opinion. So it's not so easy to cut people off, especially if they're the kind of people who like build up to when or build up to their like main point. So cutting them off before they're done sometimes doesn't work. But anyway, my week has been good. I'm not going to lie. Someone did ask me if I'll be talking about the Cuomo situation. I said not yet. I said no, and I think he felt like, so why not? It's a trending topic. Yes, it is a trending topic, but the truth is, it has been on for a very long time now, like months now, and I'm looking forward to seeing if is he going to resign, is he not going to resign. If you're on, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like this video. Just click the like button, and if you can share with your friends, please do share with your friends. So that's my thought on the Cuomo situation. So when I got asked if we're going to talk about it today, I said number one, it was not the plan to talk about it, and number two, I think we should wait just to see what happens here, at least on the show. Like, of course, I'm going to listen to what the pundits say on TV, but I want to know what he's going to do. Is he going to resign? Is he going to tough it out? Personal opinion, I think he should have resigned before it got to this point, especially. And this is my thing, right? I'm not living in his head. I'm not a spirit. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But if this is something that he has been doing, and he knows that he's doing, then why let it drag up until this point? You know what? I'm just at this point that I'm like, if you know that you have these scandals, why run for office? It's one thing to have some, family scandals, some low-key shady things that you did once upon a time. But if you know that you are, embroiled in stuff that will tank your political career, and then you get into those major places and you are still doing those things, it's a bit confusing for me. Like, it's going to catch up with you. And even now, as people are talking about stuff, they are like judging, they're saying, oh, so he did this. I'm thinking in my mind, it's a reminder to all of us, right? That one day, if your prayers come true and your hard work, if it does come to bring the fruit that you want it to bring, you're going to find yourself at a very high point. And then all these secrets can come out. So today, I say all this to say today is a good day to start cleaning up your act. And it's a word for all of us. Start cleaning up your act. I think that is what we need to do. So, okay, while I wait on my guest, I am going to go into our first topic for today. So, as I said, we have three topics, and they all happen to somehow be around work, like career stuff. So I wanted the others to be on to talk about, which one that which one is like important to them. But since they're not on, I think I'd like to talk a bit about Nigerian Olympian situation that went down during this period. So if you're watching, please drop a hello in the comments. Um, okay, so as I was saying, 10 Olympians, 10 qualified Nigerian Olympians happen to be disqualified. So note that I use the word qualified and then I use the word disqualified. And I said that because with their disqualification came a lot of stories. Some people said, oh, they were caught using drugs. Some people said they were tested and they were tested positive for some kind of substance. But it just turned out that the the federation, that's the sports federation for Nigeria, didn't do everything that they were supposed to do. They left some things out. And so by the time they got to Tokyo and this was figured out, I was like, okay, you guys can't compete. You're disqualified. And that was it. 10 people who had been preparing for years to compete and have gone on social and have said I'm an Olympian, and their African parents are probably showing everybody their picture on WhatsApp and rallying their friends to watch the games or the sports, and then you find out that all of that goes into the toilet. I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me that felt like, oh my God, how can this happen? And then there was a part of me that felt, why can it not happen? Like, are you surprised, to be honest? So if you're watching, let me know what your thoughts are. But I'm going to read something from one of them. So there's this lady that I follow, right? And she is one of the people who was affected by this situation. Um, I felt so bad for her because, of course, she had been practicing for this, and then for this to happen, it was just I cannot even imagine. It was just disappointing for her and for those who know her personally. So I'm going to read, of course, just a little bit of her comment. And she's a discus thrower. I've never, that has always been a sport that when I was young, I used to think, what is this about? So you twirl, 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 and you throw a stone. That's what it looks like, right? But it's actually a very hectic, intense sport. And that was what she was supposed to perform at in Japan. Her name is Sisi Onyekwere, and I'm just going to read a bit of what she said, right? She said, I'm going to take excerpts from it, so it's not going to follow each other as she typed it. She said, this Tokyo Olympics is supposed to be the pinnacle of my career. This is supposed to be one of the happiest moments of my life. I am coming here from the Olympic Village to tell you a different story. She said, yesterday I woke up ready to continue my preparation to compete in my first Olympic Games. Da, 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 da. Following my training practice, I was informed that I and 9 others are not eligible to compete at the Tokyo Olympics due to the technical errors by the federation. A system that, see, she said, a system that was meant to protect us failed us. That hit me. And she said, the long aches in my body following weeks of hard training. She goes on to talk about like everything that she's put into preparing for this event and how all of that was just shattered. She says, it is a shame. It is unfortunate. We all justly qualified for the Olympic Games. That's why we're here. It is unfortunate that we require further processes and testing to be eligible to compete. It is a shame that negligence and disorganization in the Nigerian Federation caused almost 50% of the athletic team to not compete. I pray that people can have empathy for us athletes. And then she goes on to talk about how she does not believe that this will be her last Olympics and how she's still going to keep training and how she's going to come back. And I really do want to see her come back. In fact, I'll be rooting for all 10 of them. I really hope that they can come back. But the truth is, probably not all 10 will come back because the way some of the sports are, they have to do with your age, the way your body is at a certain age, and just life. Just life can show up because It was supposed to be this one. It was supposed to be this Olympics. Why? Because of a technicality. Why? Because of a lazy federation. Does it have to get postponed for the next 4 years? I think it's sad. It's a bit disappointing to me, to be honest. And I feel bad for her. I hope she and the others. I think there's this other lady. Her name is Sade Olatoye. Sade Olatoye, and she is a throw throw champ. I'm not really sure what. Yeah, it's that. It's what you sling, and you throw. I don't know what it's called. And she, I think, was also affected by the decision. All these people are already Olympians. So for some people, they will say, but they didn't perform. They didn't actually do the sport. But you qualified. You got there. You're an Olympian, if you ask me. So yeah, there's that. And so I was going to ask my guests, what do number one, what do they think? Do they think this technicality is something that deserves to be, should it be taken to court? Should the federation be sued? How do we stop this from happening again? How can people stop this from happening again? Or is it a situation that stuff happens and everybody moves on? I think it's very sad, especially in a year where so many people were fighting to compete for Nigeria. You had athletes who live in other countries, really fighting with the federation and saying, I want to compete, or fighting with even their own federations and saying, I want to compete for my birth country or my parents' birth country. And then in a year like that, it is ridiculous. If I didn't know better, I would say it was planned, but I know someone was lazy, and that person's manager was lazy, and that person's manager's manager was lazy. And it was a bunch of laziness that rolled up to this. So, okay. So, another topic that I was going to talk about today, or that I'm going to talk about today, is the case of pretty privilege. And then our third topic will be pregnancy hormones. I'm going to be talking about pregnancy hormones. So there's this situation, right? And I really wanted to hear what you guys have to say or think about it. You have a coworker who is pregnant, and people want to get that coworker a gift. Do you have to join them to get a gift? Must you get a gift for your coworker? Is it in bad form to say, you know what, I'm not getting you a gift. I will sit this one out. Or do you think you have to get that coworker a gift? So, in my opinion, I'm not going to lie. So many times I've had coworkers do stuff and I don't get them gifts. This is me being honest. I don't get them gifts. And not because I'm trying to be mean, but mainly because many times the people getting them gifts are people that have known them for so long. They've known them for 15 years. They've been together for 20 years. And so they come together and get a gift. They know what the person likes. They know what you know, sometimes that's a reason why I don't get gifts for a person. Number two, if your choice of a gift isn't something I think I would like to buy for that person, I'm just going to give the person money and say, add it to your collection and buy whatever you like. So personally, I'm not really crazy about coming together to buy gifts for a person. And I don't think people should be shamed when they don't, contribute to a gift, because you don't know if the person has contributed to the gift already or not. So I don't think I don't think it should cause a problem. So I'm going to give a bit of background just so we all understand what the issue is. But before then, I'm going to share a funny video someone sent me today, and let me know what you guys think about this video. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. Give it a moment. Mm, Okay. Shouldn't take this long. It should not take this long, but I have so many things open on my screen. So, guys, so just in case you didn't catch that, this is where they met 3 months ago. That was what he said, right? And in case you cannot see clearly, they are standing in a mall in like a, it's not the food court, but you know how malls just have like wide spaces. I think that's where it looks like they're standing. Uh-oh, not the train. Oh my Lord, have mercy. No. No. Yes. She's like, don't do it. She's like, okay. Oh wow. Oh. Oh. Okay. 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 So, um, I don't know where to start with that video. I think I should have started the whole breakdown today with that video. I don't know, I don't know where to start dissecting what we just watched. But if you've been watching the breakdown, then you know that public proposals for me, I always feel like cringe because they can go so badly. They can go well, right? Because the person who's proposing always expects it to go well. So well is the expectation, but it can also go so terribly that this one is tame. And my issue with the public proposals is sometimes people make these proposals to force the hand of the other person, of the person they're proposing to kind of push guilt. I don't know what word works, but sometimes it just feels like there's that in there before. If I have to give three rules about proposing in public, I would say number one, you need to have put out your feelers to check that the person is ready. So you're not whole heart asking them to marry you, right? But you have asked the kind of questions that will make you completely sure that the person is going to say yes. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that we don't even know if you guys should be saying yes to each other at that point. That's not my business, right? I'm just saying you need to even have a feeling, a strong feeling that the person will say yes. That's number one. Number two, you met 3 months ago. He said this was where we met 3 months ago. That was what he said. So I'm not making that up. You met 3 months ago, and 3 months later, you you proposes. Someone in the comments said, I hate more proposals. And, personally, I don't really care if you propose at a mall or at the bank of a river. I don't care. It's the thought that counts. What I do care about, and this is number three, is that do not go gather people that will put pressure on this person just to make them say yes. That's not what is happening. I don't think that's what happened in this video because it looks like there's a ton of strangers there. But I've seen people do that. They'll go, tell the aunties and the uncles and the friends and all of that stuff. They'll bring them together. So it makes it harder for a person to say no because the person then feels like, oh, I'm embarrassing him in front of his friends, and people will say, why didn't you say yes? Just be real. Like if you cannot be real at the beginning of what is supposed to be your life together, when are you going to get real? This is the beginning of forever, right? That's the plan, forever. Okay, so that was, but you know what? I really, really wish this is one of those moments where I wish I could translate what the person holding the camera is saying, because the person was saying something that felt like there was I just had this feeling like the person was saying no, 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 cringe. I had a feeling. And then that baby children kiddie train going through and you know what, guys? It doesn't have to be a production. Everything does not have to be a production. It can still be simple. Simple is still okay. Simple will never goes out of style. Simple is fine. So you don't have to do this big, elaborate, wonderful thing every time. Some people don't even some people don't even like big and elaborate. Some people like, you know, some people like it quiet. Some people don't want stress. Some people just want it like something small. So anyway, that's my take on that video. I do not support violence. So her hitting him in the head with that guitar, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know what that was about. I'm not sure why she felt the need to do that. I have no idea, but I don't support that. I don't think she should have done that. What are other ways that she could have reacted? I can't stop laughing. It's hilarious. What are other ways that she could have reacted? She could have said no, right? Um,
Hello. Hi. I am
hey.
so sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
late.
no, 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 no. It's okay. So you said you had to be at work
Yeah,
and
it's
all
one
of
of
that
those
good
days.
stuff.
Let me vent a little bit. I was almost
Mhm.
done, no, and then they were like, "Okay, come and do something," and I'm like, "Lord have mercy." So, anyways, that's why I'm late. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm late. I'm sorry.
That's the vent. That's the vent. So I just shared an epic proposal
Mm,
because I was waiting on you guys.
mm,
So I said, let me share an epic proposal that someone sent to me.
mm-hmm.
So I'm guys, I'm going to share with Jem. Okay, before we go in, I'm going to introduce Jem. So if you've ever seen the breakdown a couple of times, he is not a stranger. Shout out to at Gem High on Instagram. He is a scientist. He is a laboratorialist.
Yeah,
He
that's
is a
right. That's right.
doctorist.
That's right.
He's
That's right.
also a
That's right.
musicianist.
Hey.
He's a rapist.
Hey, and be careful about it. This guy, in this day and age, they can twist that one to mean something else.
He's there. Anyway, he's also a child of God. So that is
That's the most important one
welcome,
now.
Gem.
Thank you
Welcome,
for
Gem.
having me.
Welcome, Gem.
Thank you for having me.
So as I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
I shared a very epic proposal
Okay.
video, and I was also given my personal rules
Hmm.
about proposing.
All right.
If before you propose, and you know that I feel very strongly about proposals,
Yeah, I
right?
know. Yeah, I know.
You know that. So yeah, I'm going to share it again just so you see.
Okay. Let's see.
I am going to share it again so you see. Let's see. Let's see what goes down. Okay, so today was a long day, and I was talking before you came on. I was talking
Mm-hmm.
about, the fact that someone asked if we would be talking about Como, and I said I want to wait to see what he does about what is being said. But let
And
me
then
share
you.
the video, and then we can talk about a bit about that.
Okay. Okay. You know how it goes about these things. You have to fill me in because I'm not in touch, but I like my outsider perspective on the inside things
Okay.
of the world. Oh, it's at a football game.
The whole, I know you find this.
I've seen this one.
You said hello to me. This is where we first saw each other. This is where I fell in love
I've
with
seen
you.
this one before.
And you my
You've
absolute
seen it.
John, and you had me that day at hello.
I
When
think so. Let me see
I
again.
mean, hello. Anyway, you're my Janu, you're my sweetie pie, you're my cutie pie, you're my absolute John. And
Rem- remix.
anyway, keep going. You, Janu, you're my sweetie pie, you're my
Hmm.
cutie pie, you're my Shonu, you're my everything.
Oh wait, I
And,
don't think
and,
I've seen
and
this
I
one.
know you find this cheesy, but I want everyone to know you make me really happy. And I have a little poem for you, and I'd like everyone to hear this. When you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. And my heart
Plagiarism.
ceases to beat. And there's nothing else that I seek except you. And I just have one question for you.
Hey, hey,
Please,
hey.
tell me what I need to know. You truly make me the happiest person on earth.
Yes, I've seen it before. Yes, I've seen it before. Yes, I've seen it before.
Oh my God. But wait, these guys that were singing, they didn't even try to help him up, though. They didn't even try to help him up.
You can't help anybody up at that point. That boy, that man,
What do you
hey,
mean?
legend has it that that guy stayed on that floor for the rest of his life.
Not legends.
Legend has it that
Oh
that's
my
where he
God.
stayed for the rest of his life. He didn't move at all. He
He
didn't
never
move.
moved.
He
Even
never.
when they came to demolish that mall,
He
he
stayed
was
there.
there. They
He,
met
he couldn't move. There's no way he could move. How could he move? He couldn't move. Yeah, I've seen I've seen
him.
before. I didn't even see like the long version of like the train coming in and things like that. Hey,
No, I was like, "Ah, that train really killed the vibe.
you know what kills me about proposals? What absolutely
What?
kills me and my girlfriend about proposal is that proposal should not, I mean it should be a surprise, but like you shouldn't be surprised. Like you guys didn't talk about
I
it that you're going to
know.
spend the rest of your life to get that. Like,
Exactly.
and I'm in the face of I don't know, I guess I can say whatever. I'm in the face of like planning and stuff now. Like it takes a decent time to start planning for like a wedding and things like that. Like so many things have to kind of fall into place. So if you're like proposing like I don't know, like just like it's a huge step. Like you're not just going out to what's the most important thing? Like
Buy
even
pizza.
buy a car or buy a house or something like that, or buy pizza. Yeah, right. You're not just going out to buy pizza. You dedicating your life, time, energy,
Your lifetime energy
your
and life.
life, right? To
Just say your
somebody,
life.
right? Your life to someone for the rest of your life, and it's like not planned for, or like they don't know about it, or like you and your spouse haven't talked about it before. Ah, no, no, no. I didn't subscribe to it at all. I didn't. I see it. The person say, "Oh, subscribe and follow the channel." I didn't follow the channel. I didn't
You were like,
subscribe.
no,
No, I'm
get thee away from me,
like, no.
Satan.
I mean, I haven't proposed. So,
Mm.
what was your story like? Did you share it already?
My proposal.
Yeah,
No, my husband, then my boyfriend, proposed to me in his house.
like
Like, got down on knee, asked me to marry him inside his house. Nobody
that's
else was there.
and like he knows you. He knows that okay, she doesn't like maybe like public display of affection or something
No, you know
grand
the funny,
or
you know
anything.
the funniest part. I didn't even know whether I liked public displays or not because I wasn't thinking about marriage at the time.
True, true.
But I think just for him, because he's also not a public
Right,
person
right.
in
I know.
all
You
of those
know it's
space.
not. No, it's not.
Yeah, so I know, except if he was doing it for me, but I think I'm not saying everybody's own has to be like that, but like Jem said, you should know if the person is down for forever or not. Like it's not that hard.
You should know. You know what? Let me tell you. The funny thing is, I pre proposal pranks on my girlfriend a lot. Like I do. Like I've done it maybe like 4 or 5 times now. I'm a horrible person. That's okay. You can tell me in the comments. It's fine. But yeah, so I play a lot of like proposal pranks on her. Like I'm gonna propose to her, And I know like she's not a public person. I still want it to be special. I still want other people to be involved. But I know that at the core of it, it has to be extremely stripped down because it's either one of two things. It's either she freaks out and she runs away, or she starts laughing, like hysterically laughing, like funny kind of
Mhm.
laughing. So I have to make sure that like it's semi-private. It's just
Mm.
both of us. It's not. She's also not very like. She's romantic, but not like kind of romantic. So
Like, do you think she'll start crying?
she would not cry. I know that for sure. She would not cry. She would again. She would just laugh. She would just laugh and just say like, "Yes," and like, "Oh, you're so cute," kind of deal. I mean, she's romantic. She's like whatever, but like, she's not that kind of. She's not like this
That
guy singing mariachi band. If I ever do that, she
it
would laugh
wasn't
my
even a
ass.
if it was even a mariachi band, I was it's not even mariachi. I'm like, what are you guys doing there? And then he's like, I want to read a poem for you, and then he starts quoting when you. I'm like, really? You even
It
stealing
plagiarized Bruno
someone's?
Mars. It
No.
plagiarized Bruno Mars. So
And
no,
Bruno
no,
Mars is like, I have no part of this.
I have no part in this. I
I
want no
have no
part in
part.
this. I have no part in. Yeah. So I don't know. That was cringe. That was
I
very
know
cringe.
you look, you took the words out of my mouth. Before you came on, I said this is OMG cringe
It's not good.
times 100
And
because it's
not to say
just
that people don't like stuff like that though. There's some
oh, of
people
course
that
people
they
do, but
live for that kind of stuff. But it's
yeah,
just know your significant other. That's it.
exactly. Just know who you are. If at that point you cannot take the time and the energy to find out what the person would go with and would enjoy and would be unforgettable, because again, you could do something that is your thing
Mm.
and it's not that person's thing. But you
Mm.
know what, Jem? I'm also thinking because we are largely raised with the African culture. I think we're used to, once you say you're getting engaged, then the next thought is marriage. I feel like I've met some people who they would get engaged and be engaged for years.
True. I guess. Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
and and even 4 years later, they're like, yeah, we're still planning.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
even at that point, you should first of all, if someone is engaged to you for a year, for 4 years, I don't know. You
No.
should. I'm not a
Well,
marriage counselor, but you should.
no, I'm not a marriage counselor too. But okay,
You
you know
should
what?
be
Let me
there.
ask you this question. What do you think is the maximum amount of time a person should still be wearing an engagement ring and before they move up to a wedding ring?
Honestly, if it was left to me, let's say like I met a girl and within a year we should be married.
Okay.
Within a year we should be married. Especially
You
like if
met a
it's
girl or you proposed to a girl.
I met a girl from the time that I met the girl from the first date. The anniversary before the
Ah,
anniversary we should already because what are you waiting for? How many years does it take to know somebody? If I don't
no,
know you within the first 5 minutes of speaking with you, like what else? And then and we are Christians again. You are pray on top, your mother pray on top, your pastor pray on top, your grandma pray on top,
you
and the
prophet.
woman that lived down the house on the fourth block, she pray on top of it again.
Just then one man that lives in your house saw a
That is
vision.
come
It's
on.
over.
Your mother have paid like a couple of people back home to pray on top, and then we are not sure. Like at that point, like when will you be sure?
You
So
you
for
are
me,
so 1 year for you.
one year will be ideal for me. It's a little bit
Ah,
hypocritical because I've been dating
I
my
think.
girlfriend for like 4 years now, but
Mm.
like
But that's what you think you would have. Okay, so for me, I think 1 year is a bit short.
1 year is a bit short.
Okay, no, hold on. Because you said from the day you met.
What do you
You
mean?
say from when you started dating.
When
Ah,
I want to tell you
no.
about it. I mean, the day we first, I said from the first date, from
Because
the
what I
first
heard
date.
was the day you met.
But what's going on? Like, tell you, people will not be just be passing shot and say,
No, no, I think I want to see you. This is so different from the topics we're supposed to do today.
This
I
is
want to.
important. This is important.
This is important. I think for me, right, I want to see I want to see the person in different scenarios. I want to see the person with his friends. I want to see the person when we go out to party. I want to see the person, with my family. I want to see the person with his family. I want to see those things, but as a friend. or as like regular dating before we now level up to like courtship.
I f-
If what I see in those times is like, I would just be like,
yeah, that's fine. But like you will know within a year. Let me tell you, there's this one show.
yes, but yeah.
There's this one show that I love right now. Right,
I,
it's
I,
my
would- I,
favorite
would-
show on TV.
but I will know within a year, but I'm not sure I want to get married that fast to you.
I, I guess different people, different ways, and like
Then it depends on the kind of person.
yeah, of course, depending on the kind of
It
person.
depends on your age. It could also be a
It depends
function of
on
my age. If I meet you at 22
which is
or
the
at
case for myself
19,
and my girlfriend. Yeah,
exactly. If you
then
meet
it's too early.
early, then you have a lot of time
Yeah,
to.
I understand. But like, let's say like you're under normal circumstances, right?
Okay.
Under like the person didn't
If we
enter
were
coma.
grown.
If we're grown, the person didn't enter
Oh
coma in the
yeah.
middle of this dating or nothing like that. Like Corona didn't eat or anything like that, right?
Uh,
It. By the way, do you know like we're going back to wearing masks again? We have to start wearing masks like pretty
did you
soon.
stop wearing mask before?
Yes, nah, like we need to wear
Ah.
masks again. Cause
Hmm.
I got vaccinated and
No,
stuff.
no. If we have to keep wearing masks because so many people are not wearing masks, and at the
Yeah.
rate at which we're getting to, if we don't do it now, I'm afraid for what will go on before the year ends.
See,
I'm
I
really
think
worried.
I think there might be another lockdown. Anyways, sidetrack.
Yeah.
I get it that different people and different like, you know, ways to approach relationships and all, but the thing is like, I don't know, like me personally, like, plus like also like, body is not a firewood something. So we pay like, like, that is too long of a time. So you just be saying hi hi, and we giving each
Hmm.
other deeper life high fives. I don't know. It's not. Shout out to all my.
Oh, I'm just realizing what you're saying.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
shout
So,
out to all my deeper life
so,
people.
what did you say?
So shout out to all my deeper life people. I just shout out to
Shout
them.
out to your SU crew.
Yeah, shout out to
Okay,
them.
so I feel you. I definitely understand what you're saying. If you are waiting, if you are practicing celibacy, if you're abstaining, from intimacy, um, yeah, 1 year is like huge, especially if you have eaten the forbidden fruits. Can you see my hand on this tree? Especially if you've
Yes.
eaten the
Yeah.
forbidden fruits in the past.
I'm sorry to point it out, but that looked like banana leaf or like plantain leaf. Is it?
Oh, Joy, they didn't tell us that. They didn't really, they just said fruits. They said the
Mm,
fruits.
mm.
Some people went to go and put apple there. They didn't
Is
tell
it
us apple.
apple? Is it apple? Oh,
They never
so
said
I'm having
apple.
so much fun today. Is so energetic. I think it's the energy I'm brought from
Yeah,
outside.
it's the energy you came with. So nobody ever told us that it was apple. They just told us that it's fruit.
So if 1 year is too short, what time span would be perfect? Do you think?
No, I'm just thinking, you said from the first day to when you get married 1 year,
Right,
right?
right.
And me, because I know, how stressful it is to plan a wedding,
Mm,
especially an African wedding,
mm.
and the clothes, and even getting them to decide on the Asoebi
You know what? You're
alone.
right. You're
So
right.
for anyone who doesn't know what Asoebi is, it's like Yoruba for collective clothing, what they call it, uniform, a party
Uniform.
uniform, like everyone wears it. You remember that there are two sides. One side is going to wear their own Asoebi, the other side is going to wear their own Asoebi, and each side has to decide. Then both sides are going to want to decide on what food they're going to serve their guests, and then you're going to have to decide on souvenirs. Like, it
You know,
is
I take the 1 year back. Maybe I should put it like this. It should take you about
one
what?
year from, maybe you can say 1 year from when you've decided you're good. And with us, right? So maybe with other cultures, maybe they can just get engaged and just fly into the sunset. But
Mm,
for us, you get engaged and then you now start planning. You're like, who do you want to you have guests of your own, but then you're asking your parents, what guests do you want? You're asking this auntie, if you are getting married in the motherland, the way it used to be, at the party, everyone has their own corner. Each
right.
auntie has their own corner with friends and food. So it's like a carnival. How
It
do you
is.
plan that?
It is like
How
a
do you plan
party.
that in 6 months?
I'll
You know,
say I'll say like you should be engaged within 1 year of knowing each other. Like we should be like, all right, we're going.
I also, you know what, in that one, I concur. I think 1 year. I think, and I say that because what did we get engaged? Was it up to 1 year for us? Yes.
Be careful if you
Was it
miss
up
the
to one
date.
year?
It can be used against you in the court of law. So careful.
It,
Tread lightly.
I think it was up to a year or less.
Right.
And for us, it was. I think it's also a function of if you get to the point where you know this is what I need,
Exactly. Exactly.
then it's easy to say, oh, okay, that's it. But if you don't know, if
And
you've
then
just,
yes, I
I think
guess
that's
right,
so.
right.
I think I knew, and once I knew, like, why am I? What's the shakara about?
What are we waiting at? What are we waiting around for?
Why wasting time? So, and he too, he did not let, he was like, this is what I want.
Mm,
He never played. He was like, I want to get married. He
mm,
wasn't playing.
mm,
And
mm,
I think it's also a function of if you know the person is decisive. I don't
mm.
think any woman wants a guy who, hmm,
It's not decided about stuff. I like,
yeah, is not decided about it. And then there's some guys when you're together,
mm,
they don't want to talk about anything concerning your relationship.
mm.
They
Right.
don't want to, you ask them any serious question, they're like,
Mm,
all they want to talk about is when we have children, you name one Bob and you name the other one Bobrisky. That's all they want to talk about. And of course, that's not serious stuff. That's like they're just playing around. But when they're with their friends, they'll be like, oh, my wife, this is my future wife.
yeah,
Look, if you're watching this, beware. And that's what
so
I'm going to say.
not to we really need to get to the main topic, but like if it's two-sided, right? First of all, if you're a lady and a guy is doing that, you should run. It should be that meme. Run. Dun, 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 dun. That's the meme that it should be. You should run away. But also it could be a thing of being insecure and like trying to be like macho to the extent like I don't want to be vulnerable in terms of my feelings with you.
I get that.
I've seen it happen. I know a
Mhm.
couple that happens to them. Like this guy, like it doesn't really tell like his wife that like, oh, I mean a little bit, but like not a lot. But
Mhm.
when it gets to like the club with like his friends and stuff, like he's just like vomiting about her. Especially when they've gotten into a fight and he misses her. It's like she's the best. She makes my life whole. All of
Nope.
this,
Nope.
and but in front of her, like he won't really say all these things and like,
Hmm.
so it's kind of those things. But then, do you really want to be with someone that wouldn't be vulnerable with you? Is the question. That is not that much emotionally mature. So
Hmm. Yeah, I love that you brought that up, Jem. I
mm,
really, I like that you brought that up because I think for me, so everyone with their kettle, everyone with their own thing. Because I've seen someone say she doesn't like vulnerable men before.
mm,
I've
mm,
seen that before, yeah.
mm,
And I
mm.
just wished her well and gave her my blessing.
I mean, again, like to each their own. It
To
might
each
it
their
might
own,
work,
yes.
but
But
yeah.
guess what? Those are the women that when they're with their friends, they're crying their eyes out, saying, "Oh, my guy, when we're together, he doesn't say anything. He just leaves me by myself. He stays by himself." That's what because he's not vulnerable.
Maybe that's what she liked, or maybe she liked to cry. Clean the
No,
eyes, clean the tear ducts.
I feel like sometimes we just say something, but we don't really look at it from all the sides. I understand what she means by you don't want a vulnerable guy. You want a guy, you can be strong and vulnerable at the same time. In fact, vulnerability is a strength too. Why are you laughing?
You sound like one of them. You know
Like
what? I
who?
just wanted to know that vulnerability is a strength from within. Because you're vulnerable doesn't mean that you're not strong. Because something is simple doesn't mean that it's not golden. That's
Please, you people should pay me. I'm giving you golden advice. But seriously, like
Right.
And Jim, I have to, like, I even love that this came up, right? If
Right.
look, if you watch this, if you take anything from it, take this one. Vulnerability is a strength to, as women, right? Many of us, we've been raised to see men as you're supposed to be strong.
Mm, mm,
If
mm,
thief comes and
mm.
once you just say, "Who is in this house?" the man will just jump out with cutlass. Splash, 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 splash. All the Chinese film that you watch, he'll come and do it outside. And that's not what I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not even the
Right.
kind of strength. The men of these days, I won't even go into it. Gem
We
is my
didn't
own
have
place.
it. We didn't
But
have it.
look, if anybody comes to your house, just quickly call 911
I can't because nonsense.
or go on Facebook Live and shout that you're on Facebook Live. Oh. That might help you. I won't even tell you to just do what you can do, right? But so this is the thing. As women, right, we've been raised to, like, of course, respect men that take charge.
Mm,
But also remember that your man is taking charge and he's going out every day and he's meeting people
mm,
who, some of them will try to bring him down,
mm,
some of them will try to rubbish him,
mm, mm.
some of them will play fast and dirty with him.
Right.
And all of those emotions that come up in those situations, they have to go somewhere.
Right.
They have
Right.
to be told to someone too.
Right.
Some woman will say, "Oh, my husband doesn't want to hear anything about therapy." Why would he want to hear when he can't even talk to you?
Mm,
He
mm,
can't even talk to you. You're not even a safe space for him
mm.
to talk to.
Right.
Why would he now go talk to a complete stranger?
Mm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right. So yeah,
Honestly.
I don't know. Man. I don't know. It's a peculiar one. All this to say that if you are dating someone, I've talk with them about things that are bothering you or things that you want to do. I don't want to see any of this like surprise. Oh, I didn't know he was going to propose to me. After 10 years of dating, you didn't know.
No, but my favorite proposals are actually those ones where the person will be taking a picture and then the man will go turn around and sit down and
Yeah,
kneel
but
down.
that one is
I
cute.
like
That's
it.
fine. That's okay. I'm
Mhm.
not saying don't do that, but don't come and say that. Oh, in the caption, say, "Oh, I didn't know he was going to propose. It's such a surprise." No, 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 nothing like that to surprise me. Don't do that. It's not. It's not.
Some people are actually surprised though.
Even the
Some
word of
people
God
are
even say,
actually.
"Make your intentions known." You have to make your intentions known. Don't be
Okay, but
doing.
I don't know. I think it's the setup from the beginning. This is my opinion, right? I think what were both of you looking for when you started? I think that's important. Like,
I guess yeah. Maybe
what kind
we're
of
both not
conversation do
looking.
you even have for you to be completely surprised that someone proposed? What do you guys talk about?
That's
Just
it. That's what I'm
confused.
saying. What are you talking? What's going on? What are you talking about? That you
I've
not
asked someone this question before. She said, "Oh, we just talk about life issues." I said, "Then you guys are friends. You're just friends. You talk about life issues. That's it."
I'm
The
there.
person has never like asked you a question that sort of like hints at forever. The person doesn't show any kind of possessiveness, and I don't mean in a bad way. Because I know these days women hear possessiveness, hey, problem. But yeah, they are possessive over guys. Look, people cannot run me mad in this 2021. No, you are confused.
Oh
All
my
of you are
gosh.
confused. Jen,
There's a lot
it's
of
you and
confusion
it's
going
because
around.
it's your generation. I can
You
literally
know
call
what?
them your generation.
I feel bad because actually it's not my generation. I'm born in 1996 and I'm literally the middle child generation. Like I'm in between both generations.
No, I'm the middle
Yes,
child generation.
you're not the middle child generation now. I'm the middle
Yes,
child.
I am.
19 sometimes to 1995.
Okay, yeah. Did you still meet landlines like being
Yes,
no
I still
cell
met
phone?
landlines. I still
Okay.
met
You
no
met the
cell
cellular
phones.
phone, the big phone.
We still idea. We have on the wall cell phones like, and I grew up into the face of BlackBerry down to now that we're using Android. So like, I am
Not the
literally like,
middle. You're still new.
that's the middle. I'm in between Gen Z and
Okay,
millennials.
okay, yeah. You're right.
So I mean, I'm not saying I'm not still new, but like okay, for example, now like
But you're the old new. I get it.
exactly any
hmm
year above my year up, they don't date. these days now they talk. They
Okay.
just
For
say,
how
please.
long? I like this conversation. For how
I
long?
I think we need to call someone. Maybe you should call Jesse back or somebody and ask them, "Wait, what's the meaning
Uh,
of we are just talking?" Because I
okay.
don't understand. I've tried to.
Because you talk to everybody. So so if you're talking to somebody and you see that person like being like really close to somebody else, do you like just keep quiet? Do you say, "Well, I've been talking to you and you are cheat talking with," like what do you say? I'm confused.
This is the thing. Now they say like they are angry. I've seen it before. This show that I'm talking about, this Love is Blind show. I plug for Love is
I've
Blind.
heard about it.
It gave us money. You should watch it. I think you'll like it. So
It's a reality show?
it's like one of those like dating shows, but like
Oh, okay.
now like a lot of scenario involved. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
clean, it's good, it's like fun. There's like
Mm-hmm.
science inside it and
Really?
social
Okay.
commentary. It's very smart. It's a very smart
Okay.
show. A
Mm-hmm.
couple of dumb people, not don't let me say dumb people. A couple of people that still need to work a little bit on themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
the setup of the show is very smart, I think,
Okay.
and I love shows like that. So I lost my train of thought. Anyways, what I'm saying is that like this talking thing, and then at the end of the day, someone is like, "Why are you not discussing exclusivity between yourselves? Like, we should know if we're exclusive or not. Like,
Hold on, Jem. Hold on. Okay, I'm listening to you. I'm listening.
okay, what happened?
I was looking at something on my screen that
Oh,
kept
okay,
flashing.
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why are we not discussing like if we're exclusive or not? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if we, to me, from the other side, from you guys' side of the generation, if we don't discuss that we're exclusive, I can be seeing two people at the same time. There's nothing bad in it
Of
because
course. Of course. No, it
yeah,
was like that with us too.
that's what I'm saying. That from your side,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it
Yeah.
is. If you don't
Because
talk
that was
about
how
it,
my mom, yeah, that was what my
yes,
mom, yeah.
that's what my sister taught me. She's like, "Yo, dude,
Yeah.
if you're seeing someone, you must ask them, are you seeing someone else? What is the contract of this relationship? Like, what is going
Mhm.
on? What are we about?"
Now they are literally scared to ask. I'm like, what are you afraid of? Just ask.
I'm as confused as you are. So like, and I've asked someone before. I've literally asked them this question. I've asked my team this question like, "Oh, what does it mean when you
It
say
said
you're
the
talking
person
with
will be
someone?"
the person will be the person. They said the person would be, would be like it's scary. So a guy when the girl
Yeah, or
asks,
like throw
"Well,
them
what
off.
are we doing?" I said, if you are going to get scared, then you're not for me.
That's
Like,
it.
period.
That's
What's there
it.
to be? Okay, so we're going now. You say we're going now, right?
Right.
And we're walking on the street, and I say, so where are we going? That's not even a good example because
That's no. That's even a perfect example.
me, me.
Before we leave the house.
Before I leave the house,
Yeah, that's
I would have said, where are we going? Because I'm not. Look at my face, right? This let me mimic what I would do. And if my husband was here, he will tell you it's true. Before I leave the house, I would have said, where are we going? If you say no, surprise. I'm like, please, I'm not. Don't surprise me because I need to know what shoe I'm going to wear.
you need to know. I need to know. One of the things I learned with like stick driving, and one of the
Mhm.
this thing just turned into a rant of like something different,
I
like
love
something
it.
else. So one of the things we taught is like when I was learning how to drive is before you leave the house, before you get into your car, you have to
Mhm.
map out where you're going for the day or like whatever you're doing with the car because it matters to your like your emotional mind states to drive the car too.
Mm.
And it might annoy like Onyi or like my mom when like we're going on and I'm like, where are we going? How long are we staying here for? I just want to know so
Nah,
I know
never.
the driving energy that I need to put to and like how to, just compartmentalize like the timing in my mind and
Mhm.
things like that.
Mhm.
So like we can be communication is very 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 big for me in any relationship, especially the fact that like I'm a guy, I'm not a lady. Guys have tendency to be stupid and not really know what like the
The
other
social
the
cues.
social cues and what like the other gender is thinking. So like
Mhm.
and obviously we get better with time, but at the beginning especially to just avoid unnecessary fights and like myself, I know you didn't get into like an argument until like a couple of years down the line because like we just usually just talk about it. We had like check-ins, like we would have check-ins like almost every week and say, hey, what's up, what's the state of what's the state of emergency like? What's the state of the town like? What's going on like?
And you can
How are
even
you doing?
continue. You can
Yes,
continue because if last week you spoke about, oh, one silly guy at the office, this weekend you can say, hey, what about that silly guy at the office? And so
exactly.
it continues. It's like love is blind, but between both of you,
Between
you
both of us, yeah, it
continuing
goes
the
on
show.
and on.
Yeah, that
So
makes
like
sense.
communication is key, but these days I don't know. I've literally asked them before that like, what do you guys mean by talking? I like, you know, we're just talking. I'm like,
What
ah,
are they saying? No,
that's what I'm
we need to
saying.
get them. So when you said I should get, when you actually asked me to do that, but and I'm going to do it. So it's I will get any.
Hmm.
I maybe any might know.
Maybe Ini might know. I know Ini is in maybe dating right now, so I know you
I,
might be out of the dating pool for like a minute.
mhm. I would.
And but Ini
Okay.
is married now too, so we don't know if we can.
So this is second wedding. His second wedding is
It's in his
coming.
second wedding. So
Second fake wedding. When Ini eventually gets married, people will not know.
people will not know because they think it's just a skit. They think it's just
I
a
was
thing,
telling
right?
someone that I'm doing my birthday. The person said, "Is it a fake birthday?" I
Is
said,
it a
"Why
fake
would it
birthday?
be a fake birthday?"
Isn't it that shout out to at Ine Cash on IG.
Shout out to Any Cash because person was like, no, because I heard you guys talking about fake wedding on your YouTube. I said, this is a real birthday,
This is a real
and I
birthday.
expect you guys to show up with the real gifts.
And
Okay.
at the real time.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Because that's important. Anyway, so yeah, it's a whole dynamic. So this proposal thing
Yeah,
is serious.
it's
But
a it's
by
a
the
lot.
way, my
Mhm.
proposal is gonna be lit. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be awesome. I have it all planned out already. I'm about to discuss with a planner. It's gonna be a surprise
And
to not a surprise. He doesn't like surprise, so I have to give out some details. But the core of it is gonna be good. They have warned me that my nails have to be done. So what we're doing is for the next
okay,
couple of
okay.
months, we'll be getting pedicures every month together, so that she won't be able to guess it, and it's also a fun thing to do.
That's so funny. You guys are so planned. Okay, so I've so Steve Harvey, right? I like Steve Harvey,
Right?
right?
I love Steve Harvey too.
But there's some advice that he gives girls that I'm like, you know,
Yeah, I've heard things like that
I
before.
think it's advice that serves men. I know he says a woman, if you want to get married, do this. But at the end, I feel like it's advice from a man
Mm.
that is somehow designed to also help men. Like it has men almost at the forefront because you're also not supposed to ask a guy before maybe the first 90 days or some weird rule. You're not supposed to sleep with somebody before 90 days. There's just some rules that are not like rules per se.
I
So
mean,
for the completely lawless and ruleless, they work. But for a regular person, they would
they
make the person even make mistakes. To
But
me.
so I'm a strong before I say this, I'm a strong supporter, and for most of the things he says, I do agree with them. I've not heard or seen anyone where he kind of contradicts himself
No, no,
uh
no, no.
or make this.
What he says he is what he believes.
Yeah, but what I would say is you have to understand that for him to speak from a man's perspective is what
Hmm.
a man is thinking. And obviously it won't work for everybody.
Hmm.
And like it's just social science, like it's not like 100% true, obviously.
Hmm.
But for most men, let's say 80% to like let me say 75 to like 85, 90-ish%. I think the things he's saying are probably true. For example, maybe give me a concrete example of something that he says that you don't think it works and that I can maybe explain as a guy. If you say like the 90 day of like not sleeping with the guy now, I
Oh, that one, 90 days.
yeah, like that's the example you said, like
Yeah, but I'm saying like, why does it have to be 90 days?
because like
Why is 90 days made into such a 90 days? Okay, if you
it,
sleep with the guy after 90 days, he can still up and be like, you don't
it,
even have moves.
of
Bye.
it can,
No, no, I'm saying like, and he could be sleeping with other people. He could be dating other people, and
of course.
he's arranging their 90 days. This one's 90 days is this time.
Of course, of course, I completely
It's,
agree. This so the advice that may I give like any of my siblings or people that I know that are dating is make your intentions known. Ask the guy, what are we doing? What is this thing about? If you honestly just want friends with benefits, actually, maybe I'm down for it. Just tell me first, because I don't want to be surprised, right? And then, but the thing on the other side is like, obviously, the guy can lie, but at least you've heard him say it. It gives you a level of confidence. So I think it's the same thing with the 90 days. As a guy, if you like, it just shows me that like you have something to offer, and like you're kind of making me work for it, kind of, and like you're just boundaries. That's the word. Boundaries. It's a thing of boundaries. It's not about like, if you can control yourself for 90 days, then to me, like if I'm a lady, to me, that, or if I'm a guy, if you can make me control myself for 90 days, I don't know how to explain it now, but then that means that like I can set boundaries for myself. That means that like if I meet another lady, there's a higher chance that I won't just, my body won't just start shaking like a blender, and I'll just shake towards the auntie. I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, I know some biker mice from Mars were riding past my house. So.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I think that's what an advice like that is. And y- from a lady perspective, you might know like like it might seem like, oh, this might be for men, but, and I'm not saying, again, I've not heard all his advices. I'm just saying like
Yeah, okay. No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Like, you're completely on the money. For me, I think like we keep finding ways to veer off advising people to abstain. We just find ways around abstinence. We keep moving around abstinence, never wanting to say abstain,
right, right,
right?
right.
And just because you wait until 90 days to sleep with the guy, what does that, what if, like, does it
But
really?
on the flip side, people that
Mhm.
abstain, not all of them have perfect marriages.
I think that's because abstaining is not supposed to get you a perfect marriage, because that's not the secret to a perfect
So the
marriage.
90 days isn't a secret too. It's just a tool, just like abstinence is just a
A
tool.
tool for what?
It's a tool
That,
for to create a
mhm.
structure. Again, boundaries. So I believe it's all about boundaries. Abstinence in itself is all about boundary.
No.
What is it about that?
Abstinence is realizing the fact that sex in itself is a spiritual exchange, and understanding that you cannot just let anybody into your body. If you are
Right,
committed and bound to the person, then it makes sense.
right,
That's what abstinence. So for those who are not spiritually, in that, abstinence for them might be, I've met people who are not even Christian, and
right.
abstinence, they always say, look at boxers, look at sports people. When they're training, there's nothing like that for them.
It's the
Their
opposite
coaches
for
want,
women, though. Just throwing that in. It's the opposite for women.
how?
Like like for men, you're not supposed to. For women, you are encouraged to.
Okay, I don't know about
I heard
that.
it from Randa Rosie, but okay, all right. Sorry.
Mm. I don't have anything to say about that, but good luck to
Do you
her.
have anything against Randa Rosie?
Of course, I don't.
Oh, okay,
Mm-mm.
okay.
But yeah, I wish her the very best. As I was saying,
But that in essence is still, I believe it's a thing of, maybe that's just the way I understand it.
how many, even up to, look, as progressive as we are, as much as we like to talk about, oh, we're progressive. Hey, look at Jesse showing up at 9:06. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. So, Jesse, when people say, oh, we're just talking, what does it
Oh
mean?
yeah, I guess you
Let
can
us
ask
know in
this
the
now.
comments. Yeah, let us know in the comments. So, as I was saying, it's even now, even while we are so progressive and we're so out there,
Hmm,
people still say, oh my gosh, her body count is so high. Why do we still care about body counts then? Why are
true.
we
Wait,
counting bodies
huh?
then?
Yeah, that's not a good thing though. If anybody that says that, like, we should think about the person twice. That's not a. You shouldn't really say that, because like,
You shouldn't say whether you say it or not, but you're thinking it.
I
People think it.
mean, if people think it. People think it. I'm
No,
saying
no, no,
like,
no. Stop. Hold on. Wait. So a person's body count will not bother you in any way.
a
It
body, a
doesn't say
person's body
anything
count does
about
not
them.
belong. It doesn't. You don't know what their past is like.
Really?
You don't know. You don't know what happened in their past. You can't judge people
What
based on
happened
their
in their past?
past.
Okay, and whatever,
Yes.
and this is me not shaming anybody for their body count.
Hmm.
This is me saying, in a world that still cares about body
Which we
counts,
do. This is the world that we live in, and
and
that we
and
do.
and that's and women are not body counting guys. It's guys body
Especially
counting
women.
girls.
Yes, 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 yes.
So who's losing at the end of this, you know, sexual liberation? Who's at the losing end of this whole
I think you're also seeing it from like a difference and some, and to anybody that's listening, this is not
thing?
like, as a Christian, we preach and practice abstinence, but like this is the thing of
Hmm.
like people that don't have the same understanding that we do.
Hmm.
Women also, this might also be like the thing, like again being the middle child of the generation, I maybe see like a different light of these things these days. Women
Hmm.
body count guys too, because if they hear that a guy has, I can literally, we could talk about it next time, I
Okay,
can
if
find
they say if they say
videos
a
for
guy
you to
has
show you.
if
If a
they
guy
say a
says
guy
like,
has
oh, I've slept with like 30 people, for example, now the lady might be concerned that like this guy is a player, I don't want to be here, and then she's out. Like,
okay, but be honest.
mhm.
Be honest.
It mostly
How
happens with
many
men. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't
no,
happen.
but how many times does it stop a man from getting a nice girl? And by nice, I mean what you men will call an 8, a 9, a 10. How many times does a man's body count actually stop?
I'm not saying
Stop.
like, I'm not saying like it's again, it's predominantly with women. Oh, okay, I think Jesse is explaining the talking this thing. So
I love the way Jesse explained. Such a
when
nice way.
when in a talking stage, or we are just talking, is when two people like each other and they are not dating yet, but like
But
are on
yeah,
a path to dating.
so it's friends.
My friends with many people, though, doesn't mean I'm talking to them.
You are talking to them. Ah, you're in trouble.
I'm
You
in
don't
trouble.
enter
Why
that.
anyhow? With this Jesse's definition, I'm in trouble. Why?
You're in trouble.
So
No, but you're on the path.
follow up to
You are considering dating.
follow up to the question, Jesse. So, what do people talk about, and what is acceptable in the terms during that time of talking? Do you
What
guys?
kind of image? What kind of images do you guys send to each other while talking? What is that?
Thank you. That's the right question. What type
What kind
of
of
talking?
emojis are you using?
Wait, now Jesse
Please
says
don't
what?
put the emojis in here. Just
Now Jesse says, what type of talking are you talking about? You see, this is where they come. Why can't we just say we are? I don't know, man.
see, there's another kind of talking again. Wala,
You know what's
wala.
weird? For like my mom generation, they don't understand dating. They understand courtship.
Yeah, but they have people who want to court them. And when a man is showing you that he wants to court you, he does certain things that move him up to courtship level, and he says it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But like for,
Mhm.
I think for your generation, you guys date. You guys don't go directly to courting.
No, I think some people, I think it was more of a religious thing. I think for some people, they would, I don't know. I can't really talk about, what did I see?
What I'm
I
saying in
saw
essence is
people.
that the same way my generation, the one before the Gen Z, doesn't
It's like
understand.
claiming someone, but it's not official. How do you claim someone unofficially? Are you a kidnapper? How do you claim someone?
Again, I think it's the thing that I said about being possessive. So like they're like,
You see,
yes,
but
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to commit but not commit.
I don't even think it's a commitment, but not commitment. I feel like it's a lack of confidence in a way. I feel like it's a lack of confidence because many times there are lots of people talking to people. A lot of people are talking to people, and people are kind of. I might be wrong, right?
Jesse, we're not
Like I
trying
could.
to do anything. We're just trying to understand. I'm
We're just trying
honestly
to
like
figure it out. We're trying to figure it out,
understand.
like old people.
We are two old people here. Again, like the thing, like my mom now, she doesn't understand dating. Like the first time I went to her, I said like, "Oh, I'm dating someone." Just like, "Oh, so are you ready to marry?" I say, "No, that's not what I say. I just say that we are dating that." So they
No,
understand
for
courtship
your
is different.
mom, for your mom, for my mom, dating is she doesn't even understand that word in that way.
That's what I'm
Dating for her
saying.
is you going out somewhere,
Oh,
like
really?
a date.
Yeah. I guess that's what like talking is. The way we are thinking about talking now is like, what are these kids talking about? But the kids are like, we're talking. Like everybody
It's
knows
very
we're talking.
simple.
It's simple,
Yeah, for her, if you say you're dating, okay, well, where are you going?
right?
You
Right?
know, and
Like,
then after that, he wants to marry me.
right? Like, there's a huge. Where is the courtship process?
Yes, and if you say, and if you never say he wants to marry me, then at some point she is somebody says, "Oh, my son likes your daughter." She's going to say, "Oh, she's single," and
True.
you'll be the
True.
one saying, "I'm not
I'm not
single."
single, and they're like, wait, well, yeah,
But she's like, "Then what are you doing?
mommy, today that comes to my house. Today is your friend now. Today, your
Is it are you
mommy. Today,
are you
my
not
shy.
best friends?
Are you not best friends? So,
Your
yeah.
best friends." So I think, yeah, I love the fact that we talked about this because it shows such a difference in
Shows that
just
we are old. That's what it shows.
no, I'm forever young.
Me, I'm
But
forever old.
but to be honest, I think no matter what generation is speaking,
Right.
we all want to like and be liked. And
True.
preferably be liked by the person we like.
Right.
Not now, you know how it happens when you like somebody, but the person you don't like likes you. I don't know if you've ever experienced that before. So, oh mess.
Yeah,
You're like, can you
I
get
have
out
experienced
and
it.
give me
I've
space?
experienced it.
hmm
I've experienced it.
hmm So, okay, he said it's not being possessive. For example, if you like someone and the person likes you back, and you guys are like always talking with them on phone or whatever, and you guys are not dating. Midnight call. What is this?
Extra cool. Anyway, from the extra cool.
Oh my God, I still remember. See, Thunder will fire midnight call like person I invented. I'm not lying to you. I still remember this day, right? So I think I just started this midnight call business thing.
Uh-huh.
And then this guy, he called me in the afternoon. We were friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are
And he called
talking.
me. I can't even say we were talking because in his mind, we were basically on the way to marriage. And
Oh
for me, I was just like, for me, I was just like, who is this dude? So, I want us to round up soon. And for me, I was just like, who is this? Like, and he's a cool guy, but some people are take charge, but to the extreme. They feel like they can take charge of your emotions as well. I think that was the situation.
is this
So
person
he's like,
religious? It
okay,
sounds like it's religious.
no, no,
It's not religious.
actually,
Okay.
no. No, he's a
Interesting.
Christian. He goes to church where he you know. So it was in the afternoon or in the evening. You know that those times when you like fake like you want to sleep, like mom, oh, you're feeling sleepy? Yes, I'm actually feeling sleepy. Yeah. So I just phoned like I was going to sleep. So he said, okay, I'll talk to you later.
Hmm.
And that's how we ended the call. And then in the middle of the night, this is circa maybe 19, no, this is maybe 2000.
It's around
No,
2000. That's
no, it
when it
couldn't be 2000. Maybe 2001, 2000.
2005
I,
ish down there to like 2001.
no, it cannot be 2005. No, 2005, I was maybe in my final year in the university. So,
Okay.
you know,
How long
it
has this
was
crap been
earlier.
going? Was it earlier than
No,
that?
maybe it wasn't 2000. Maybe it wasn't 2000.
This is toxic.
This is what I'm talking. Yes.
Jesse, you have
So,
no. Jesse, because you are not a lady. Like the thing men try is not. Men are not nice.
man,
You fake everything. You fake that you are sleeping.
man.
I've had my sister
So
give out a
it
fake
wasn't
number
it
to
wasn't
a guy.
2001. It was when did I meet this guy? Maybe it would have been like 2004, 2005, 6.
Mm, mm,
Maybe I'm the one just thinking it was earlier. So anyway, bye bye, right? We thought it was over,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
In the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., my dad came to wake me up. I was like, what's going on? He said, somebody wants to talk. He said it in Yoruba. I said, somebody wants to speak with you. Somebody wants to speak with you on the phone. I was like, what? This guy did not call me in the middle of the night on midnight call on my father's phone,
That's
on his
phone.
personal
No,
phone.
no. That's one.
I was like, you called? I cannot believe you did that.
No,
Like that was just to say.
no.
But my dad gave me the phone. I was like, how are you calling me at this time of the night? I said, oh, no, I just thought we'd do midnight call.
No, you shouldn't do it. That's not cool. That's not. I laugh. Wait, what's going on? You want to fight? You want to go back in time and
I,
fight?
I ran into him recently.
Oh
I just
no.
I just sprayed the blood of Jesus on around because I knew I was not about to get into that nonsense.
No. Just
I
say it's
was
true
so
love.
mad. I've still not forgotten. I was so
Just
angry.
see, you were traumatized. Just say no, that's not true love. That's traumatic love. You
That's
know what? I
toxic
won't
love.
lie though. I've done it before. I've called on extra cool. I've been called.
On somebody's dad's phone. On an
Not somebody's dad.
African dad's phone. You want to
No,
work
no,
at
no, no,
McDonald's. That's
no,
what it is. You start hearing, so you want to work at
no.
McDonald's on an African
I
dad's
can.
phone. You can't
African
try
dads
it.
don't like me. African moms
You
love me.
cannot try it.
Dads do not like me. So I don't mess with that. Anyways, I guess like
Midnight
the
call.
we sleep on phone. Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
sleep
to
on phone
share
too.
what
Jesse said. I sleep on the phone with Onyeka too. It's cute. How?
I think we're experiencing some kind of glitch.
I think so too. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, but it's going in and out and in and out.
I think it's also lagging. I think you're back and you're gone. Okay, everybody, we're just gonna. I know Jesse can hear both of us. I could hear her too, but she was kind of like going in and out, and now she's gone entirely. Ooh, and now she's gone entirely. Hopefully, she can get back in. But yeah, Jesse, like, yeah, it's interesting the things like people. Let me tell you, Jesse, everything you're doing now that you're younger, you're going to like look back on and be like, oh my god, I was so stupid. In like 3 years, hey, it's not my show. I'm just filling in for Miss Biodun. I think she should be back on super soon. Let me see, just make sure she hasn't sent any text. Right, we used to do midnight calls and like I yeah, I was that. I did it like a couple of times. I like sleeping though, so I didn't do it. I didn't do it a ton. But just looking back on it, it just kind of shows that like especially if like the lady doesn't like like if it's not planned, if you guys didn't talk about it, and you just called someone out of the blues in the middle of the night just because you felt like talking with them, right? Like you look back at like I like texts like that and like you're like, why did I even say this? Like it's it's corny. Is doesn't it doesn't show you in the true light. But yeah, that's why like ladies, women are trying because men do the most. And I've been called on midnight call to when I just wanted to sleep and I had to speak with the person because I wanted to be nice and all that. But you know, all water under the bridge now, and you learn and you grow from it, and that's just the way it is. Let's check Miss Better and see if she's back or not.
Hey,
Oh, we're back. Oh my god, I was just texting you to see what's going on.
I don't know what's going on, but I think YouTube was telling us good night.
You need to go
He
stand
was
that. They're
saying
trying to
good
push us
night.
up.
They're
They're
trying to
trying to
push
push
us
us
up.
up.
And I'm down for it. It's okay. But let me look at what Jesse said. So Jesse schooled us tonight. Let me just read his message, his text before we go. His comments. So he said, when in a talking stage, it's like two people like each other and they're not dating yet, but they're on the path to dating. And then he wanted to clarify what kind of talking are we talking about? And he said it's not literally talking. It's just like claiming someone, but it's not official. And then he put the emoji because even he knows that that sounds crazy. Then he said, it's not being possessive. For example, if you like someone and the person likes you back and you guys are always talking, whether of phone or whatever, and you guys are not dating. See, that's what they always say, people, to read your book. And books before boys because bad boys, blah, 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 blah. I won't say the rest. This is the reason why. You see that these issues, they can give you.
It doesn't
Then
work that
he's
way.
like, speak for yourself because
He,
I followed that rule.
okay, you follow that rule. Yeah, I'm born to now. You follow that rule. Like,
Ah,
no,
eh,
that's not right.
can you
Yeah,
look at this man?
you go to go
So
and read in the library. You meet somebody at the library. That's
I
how it
never,
goes, Charlie.
never, never. They say you faked sleeping, toxic. Um, there's like midnight call. This generation will sleep on the phone
I do that too,
because they're
actually.
always on the phone. He said he can hear both of us. You're the one talking over the show. It's your show now. I do look back at some texts from 2 years and I'm like, huh, did I just say that? Someone called me like 2 days ago at like 2 a.m., but I just woke up and hung up.
So while you were gone, we were talking about. I was saying like
I love it.
because JC was saying like how is it that like midnight calls and all that. And I was trying to explain that like the things like you do now, 2 years from now, you're gonna look back and then might be like that was so dumb. Like back in my time, like midnight call was like eight, like it was late, but now it's like you're calling someone, disturbing them out of the blues, and like it was being cheap, like. And don't you have stuff to do in the morning? So
Yeah,
yeah,
but you know what was even more epic than midnight calls?
right.
It was when they started doing midnight shows on the radio, and then you would call in. Yeah, you can't remember? And then you would call in, and then this was long ago, and then you'd be like, yeah, and then they can talk about like forgiveness.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
okay,
people
okay.
would call
I
in
knew
and would
shows
say
like
there
that.
was a girl and I was wrong, I was bad to her. I want her to forgive me. And then the person on the radio will be like, okay, you need to tell her by yourself. He'll be like, Lola D, I ought you very much.
I think
Something
I've heard
in me
something like that.
pushed me to
Yeah,
misbehave to you. Please forgive me. You know
yeah, yeah.
what I'm saying? And then I wouldn't sleep because that's all I'll be listening to. I'm listening to other people. Then they would play one song that was like they would
Like
play
one love,
some
like emotional
one
song.
love song, they'll play some Westlife or they'll play some Backstreet Boys or some of
Another house,
yes,
another.
or they'll play Craig David or they'll play like something crazy like that. They'll just play something that was like lovish,
Right,
what we
right.
used to call R&B, real
Mm,
R&B then.
real R&B,
So,
not
then
the
they
ones
would
these days.
not these big needy things that people are saying now. But anyway, that was a, and then we wouldn't be able to sleep because it was like we were in a relationship without being in a relationship because we're
True.
hearing,
Other
what other
people's
people.
relationship.
Yeah. No, that's not what I said.
We've extremely dated ourselves. We've extremely
that,
dated
was,
ourselves.
that was not what I said, Jesse. I didn't say we'll call through. I hope it is. We did not say we'll call through the radio. We said you would call the radio station, just like you call the radio station now, right? You
Right,
would call
right.
the radio station, and then, what helped you be able to call was that you had a phone that did midnight call. That
True,
was the.
true, true.
If not, who has credit for that? But
Credit to the
anyway,
father.
so
Before you
he's
two
like,
kicks us off again, all right?
yeah. So yeah, Jesse, word, real R&B. Yes, there's fake one, there's real R&B, there's middle ground. All of it is there. So anyway, before YouTube kicks us off, the energy always comes through whenever Jem shows up. Thank you, Jem. Thank you,
Thank you for
Jesse.
having me on.
Thank you for everyone who's watching, has watched, and will watch this episode of The Breakdown. We completely veered off topic, which is
Yes, we
bound to
did.
happen.
Always
But I
bound to
think, but
happen.
even before you came on, I had said a few things about the topics.
Okay.
But I think the only topic I didn't talk about was the third one with the pretty privilege, and I'm willing to move that to next week because it's just something I think we should talk about. So anyway, any last words, just Jem?
I'll just say, if you're in a relationship, if you want to be in a relationship, if you're about to be in a relationship, communication is very key. You being upfront about what you want or what you do not want in your relationship does not mean that you're being possessive, doesn't mean that you're disturbing, doesn't mean that you're too forward. If the person is not for you, it's going to disturb them. If the person is not mature enough, it's going to disturb them. On the flip side, if the person is mature enough, they would want to have that discussion with you or tell you they don't want to have that discussion right now, even, but they won't just dismiss it or make you feel bad about it. Thank you very much.
Hey, 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 what he said, 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 what he said. So Justice said communication, patience, loyalty,
He's just piling us.
YouTube.
I know YouTube is kicking us off again. Oh no, YouTube don't do this. Oh no, YouTube. YouTube. Just listed like one, two, three, four, five, six. Just say he's trying to make the. Yeah, I think it's the names that maybe just is dropping that is causing YouTube to crash. Cannot process all these things. Yeah, communication like and also patience. Like patience is very very important. And loyalty. Yeah, loyalty is super important. I think another thing, maybe a little bit above loyalty for me, is respect. You both have to respect each other's decisions, respect each other. I sound like I'm like a relationship counselor or something like that. You have to respect each other's like decisions, just respect each other, and like I respect. Like respect is reciprocal. Like if I respect you, you should respect me. And loyalty, obviously, and trust too. Should be able to want to trust each other with time, trust each other to do what each other has said. Because like you can tell me something, but like if I don't trust you, if I don't trust what you've said, then that means nothing to me. I'm gonna doubt that. I'm gonna feel like maybe you're lying to me. I'm not gonna believe what you're saying. So like, yeah, that's big. See, you two try to play us again, right?
I know. Okay. All right, guys. All right, everyone. We're out of here. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for having
Good
me, man.
night.
You're
Good
awesome.
night. You're always welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. JC, you're awesome too.